morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Sununu says doctors urge him to minimize stress after medical scare. Governor diagnosed with bleeding ulcer needed a blood transfusion. Governor Sununu is thanking paramedics, doctors, and nurses along with blood donors for helping him through his recent health scare involving a bleeding ulcer. The governor is now recuperating at home. He said doctors told him the long hours and stress caught up with him last week when he ended up in a hospital with extreme exhaustion and dizziness from a bleeding ulcer. They had taken some blood, and they were just wonderful staff, and the nurse pops into the room, a little bit wide-eyed gasp. Grabs the doctor, and she starts saying some numbers, 5.2 or 5.3 or something. I don't know, Sununu said. And the doctor quickly turns around and asks me about what has happened over the past few days, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And he said, "Look, you've lost a lot of blood, like a lot of blood." Sununu said the relief of having tested negative for COVID-19 earlier in the week was long gone at that point. It was like, okay, I'm in the right place. There's something wrong. And they said, we have to start a transfusion immediately, Sununu said. That's kind of a scary point, I know. Right then, it was much more serious than anything I had anticipated. The governor, a blood donor himself, received a serious transfusion thanks to the donation of 3 to 5 other people. In that moment, you think, boy, I've paid this one forward, thank goodness, and I've got to keep paying it forward, he said. Sununu said he's on the mend, but it's going to take time to fully recover. You know, my blood levels won't be back up for probably another month or so, he said. Sununu said he'll still be giving 100% as governor, but doctors have told him he needs to find ways to de-stress. He said, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know. Eat healthier, try to exercise a little more, try to minimize your stress, take more time for yourself, Sununu said. All these things we hear about all the time, we think we'll get to it down the road. Just probably have to prioritize that a little sooner, and rightly so. And that does it for this morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another news report. Goodbye, everyone.